Subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos.
What's up guys, this is mrjman here, back for another YouTube video. And yes guys, I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded any videos since February, since I've been doing a lot of busy stuff during those months, and there's a lot of things that happened during those months. So I'm very sorry that I haven't uploaded any videos, but yeah. And anyways, and back to the video right now. I'm going to talk about an interesting topic that is obvious forgotten in Philippine history, as most of my videos do talk about unforgotten stuff. And that is between the island of Basilan and the French Empire.
So without further ado, this is when France tried to turn Basilan as a French colony.
So before we start this video, I'd like you guys to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any videos of me, because look at the chart right now, 97.7% of you haven't subscribed yet. So please take the time to subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so you won't miss any videos of me when I post it. So let's go back to the video.
So before we talk about the events that happened in Basilan, we need to explain what happened to France prior to that. Following France's 14 years of war against the European powers in the Napoleonic Wars, the European victors had decided that France has to keep its own home territories and restore the Bourbon monarchy after they were deposed during the French Revolution, a decade prior, with King Louis XVIII as the new ruler of the country. Around this time, the country experienced peace and economic growth, with the population skyrocketed to 3 million, canals and roads were improved, while Paris became the central financial hub in Europe. When King Louis XVIII died in 1824, he was succeeded by his brother Charles X, and upon ascending to the throne, he implemented many conservative policies which made him very unpopular by the country's liberal party, known as the Doctrinaires, and the public, has resulted to the 1830 July Revolution. Charles and the Bourbons were overthrown and was replaced by Louis-Philippe from the House of Orléans as the new king. It was during his reign when he approved the country's conquest of Algeria and his interest to expand its influence to Asia, particularly in the island of Basilan. After hearing Britain's victory over China in the First Opium War and the surrender of Hong Kong to the British, the French military made a suggestion to establish a naval station in the island of Basilan, located in the Sulu Sea, in order to protect its trade interests in Asia. At the time, the island was claimed by both Spain and the Sulu Sultanate. The French government agreed, and the reconnaissance mission was sent by French Admiral Jean-Baptiste with the ship Sabani under the command by Captain Guérin. They secretly arrived to the island on November of 1844. However, the mission was exposed when 5 of the sailors from the ship went to the island shores to equip some water. The men were caught by the locals, killing 2 sailors, and the remaining 3 were taken prisoners. It's unknown on how this all started, but according to some reports, one of the sailors, Enseigne Menard, had misunderstood the language of the inhabitants, which led to a fight and the capture, while in other reports says that it was an ambush trap by the island's datu, or leader, Usok. Regardless of the story, Captain Guérin was furious and sent the letters to Usok threatening to attack and proclaim the island's annexation under French rule. He then went to Zamboanga to ask the Spanish governor, Figueroa, to assist the situation. The governor managed to end the tensions when the datu made a deal to release the prisoners in return for 1,000 paesteres of personal cargo and a cash of 2,000 paesteres. The French captain didn't agree with this and ordered a blockade of the island, alerting both the Sulu government and Figueroa. The latter protested against the blockade and sent 2 small naval ships and 1 frigate from Manila to fire warning shots at Captain Guérin. While at the same time, the Sulu Sultanate, Mohammed Palau, told the French that the Datus on the island were savages, rebellious, and should be captured. These words from the Sultan convinced the French and attacked the island with 160 men and 2 corvette ships. However, the assault failed, leaving 2 dead and dozens wounded. So Admiral Cicely decided to take everything to his own hands and left his post in Macau to set sail to the island. Since the admiral is aware about the dispute in Basilan between the Spanish and the Sulu Sultanate, with the former claim of Basilan people had recognized Spain's ownership of the area since early 1844, while the European powers recognized the territory as a Sulu territory. Cicely took this advantage advantage to send a diplomatic message to both Spain and the Sultanate of Sulu, and made them known that the French wanted to take the island and ordered them to the Basilan tribal leaders to surrender their arms or face the French army, which the Datus agreed to surrender. So on January 13, 1845, the French welcomed the Datus aboard Archimede, a French steamer, and the island's independence from Spain, and signed a treaty to be incorporated as part of the Second French Empire. Although Basilan is now in the process of becoming a French colony, however, it's still owned to the Sulu Sultanate. So the French fleet arrived in Jolo to force Mohammed Palau to seize their ownership of the island. This move was noticed by the British, who are concerned of the French's influence of the Sultan, then sent their own ship, HMS Samarang, to gain the morale and trust of Palau. However, this didn't work as the Sultan gave in to French demands and seized the island on February 20th, 1845, in exchange of 500,000 francs. The French used this achievement to sail back to the island and launch a second attack against the inhabitants 7 days later. During the attack, locals managed to retreat to the mountains, and the French took their frustration by burning all of the island's natural resources. A reporter describes what had happened in the attack as quoted, quote, "The Malays driven back to the mountains were able to witness in terror the chopping of their giant coconut trees, causing the ground to tremble from the trees' enormous weight, the fire engulfing the entire plain, the detachments moving around everywhere, and everywhere they brought destruction. The heaviest possible deployment covered every point at the beck and call of commandant en chef, destroyed 6,000 stalks of rice without the least protest, burned 150 houses, razed the entire banana plantation to the ground, and fleed more than 1,000 coconut trees." End quote. It seems that the French might finally keep Basilan and finally integrate it as a French colony. However, that wasn't to be the case, when on July 26, King Louis-Philippe suddenly backed down to occupy the island due to his supposed plans to marry a Spanish princess, much to the dismay of the cabinet since it has been approved a month prior. Because of this, the French withdrew their claims and Sicilian's fleet left the island, and on August 5th, they returned Basilan to the Spanish. Although they didn't continue to secure Basilan as a French colony, they would however manage to conquer and colonize Vietnam 12 years later, and by the end of the 19th century, Laos and Cambodia would be added as part of French Indochina. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you like it, be sure to like, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so you won't miss any videos of me every time I release a new video, and don't forget to follow me in these 2 social media sites, and don't forget to click these 2 videos that appear on the screen right now. And yes guys, I'm back and I'll make more videos. Well, I mean, depends on my mood if I want to make videos or not. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. Peace out. Bye.